Elden Ring is a bigger launch than Cyberpunk 2077. Now has the 7th highest peak concurrent players on Steam. Really?
Elden Ring, man, this game, you guys. I did that review in progress video where I was 55 hours into the game.
That's good.
I'm about 100 hours in now. I'm still not fully done. I'm close to the end, but still plenty of side content to do.
I like guys like this, right? Because like they give a review and they talk about like where they are in the game. And they even admit, like early on, right? This is 10 seconds into the video. He's already admitting, like, listen, bro, like, I don't know everything about this game. I can't give it a full review yet. I really wish more people could do that. That's great.
And I stand by everything I said in that review in terms of the compliments that I gave the game. If anything, 100 hours in, my experience has only gotten better with the game continuously surprising me with new discoveries,
I feel the same way.
New enemies.
It's gotten better.
Just an incredible open world design.
You have so many
where
more tools.
It doesn't feel like the developers are telling you where to go and, you know, checking off a list.
One thing that I really like about Elden Ring is the fact that it's very easy to farm upgrade materials. Like one thing in like Dark Souls and like some of the other games is that I never wanted to upgrade a lot of different weapons because it felt like you couldn't do that as much. And you know what game ironically did a great job with allowing you to upgrade a bunch of weapons was Dark Souls 2. You could get like how many Titanite slabs per new game? It's like 4, right? Or something like that. So you could upgrade 4 games. Whereas like in Dark Souls 1, I think you can only get like 1, or I think you can get 1 Titanite slab from the demon, and then you get the second slab from isn't it like the bird? I'm pretty sure that's it. And like even that, like, yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Only with DLC? Really? Okay, yeah, I forgot. It's been quite a while.
Feels like discovery happens organically, and that's the thing that Elden Ring captures so beautifully. And
the
many
discovery
critics agree
really
as well.
I feel like, the discovery of the game is fucking amazing. And I feel like as soon as I stopped trying to beat the game, I started enjoying the game a lot more. Like as soon as you actually start trying to play Elden Ring and stop trying to beat it, it gets so much better.
97% Metascore, one of the top-rated games of all time. I believe it's top 10 at this point in terms of
That's
Metacritic.
big good.
Now,
big good.
It is worth acknowledging that there are some performance issues in terms of micro stutters and occasion.
The PC port is fucking terrible. It is fucking terrible. Full stop. It could be worse, though, to be fair. It could be like Dark Souls 2 PC port. So, yeah. I mean, but it is what it is. The game's still good. But yeah, the tech issues are shit.
Slowing down and fast-forwarding situations, which can be especially detrimental during boss battles and combat situations, which is why the user score is a little lower than expected, but it's fair criticism. Definitely those issues are there.
Yeah.
But that one blemish aside, for me, I feel this is one of the best games I've ever played, especially if you're a fan of Soulsborne type of games. If you're not a fan of Souls-style combat and difficulty and challenge, this still may not be for you.
I think that's what happened is Elden Ring, as I said before, right? Elden Ring made such a splash, it hit people in the Omega mainstream. And the truth is that Elden Ring is a Souls game. And Souls games have, you would say, rules to them. There's not a lot of tutorial. There's not a lot of guidance. There's not a lot of difficulty modes, except for the ones like summons, etc. Right? There are, but they're not. It's not a menu item, right? And overall, I think that's something that like a lot of people that probably shouldn't have played Elden Ring played it, and they just got demolished by the Tree Knight or by Margit, and they quit the game. Like that sucks, but at the same time, that's the game. That's the game. You go into an ice cream shop just because it's really popular and you ask for a steak and they don't got a steak, maybe that's your fault. Get good? Well, it's not about get good, right? I don't think the solution really is get good. It's you learn more about the game and you get better. You understand more. I think it's not even about like avoiding abilities, because like you can have like I've seen like YouTube videos of these magic builds, like one-shot bosses and shit. So like you don't ever have to get good in these games. You can just figure out a broken build and just abuse the fuck out of it. So like I don't think that's the only way that you can look at it, but at the same time, I do think that to a certain degree you need to at least get something, get knowledge, get information, get something.
But man, for those who kind of get into it, I feel like you're going to have an amazing time. But beyond the overwhelmingly positive critical reception, this game has taken off in terms of sales. Commercially, it's done incredibly well. It's proven to be hugely popular among the gaming community. For a lot of people, Elden Ring is going to be their first foray and entry into the Soulsborne subgenre of games. This game is...
I actually think that's good. Because I feel like Elden Ring will give players, like, if you really like parrying and you like ranged combat a lot more, maybe Bloodborne will be more your game. And that can be the game you play after Elden Ring. If you really like the up-close, you know, like, really, like, just moment-to-moment combat, and you just really like the combat mechanics, then maybe you're going to get into Sekiro. If you like the amount of tools that the game gives you, and you like the breadth of ways that you can approach situations, then maybe Dark Souls is the thing that you should play instead, or maybe Demon Souls. You know, I actually think that Elden Ring is a great gateway to all of the other Souls games, because you can decide what kind of game that you like by playing Elden Ring. It has every single element of every Souls game in it. Except for maybe it doesn't have a lot of, like, I mean, Bloodborne is just like Bloodborne has like the gimmick or the mechanic of visceral strikes, right? And like interrupting with parry at ranged. Like, that's kind of very Bloodborne specific. But besides that, I think it's a lot the same.
Massively, and it's breaking a number of records. So let's start by looking at this tweet from Daniel Ahmad, who said that on day one, the peak concurrent players on Steam had reached a whopping 765,000 concurrent
That's
players.
a lot of dudes.
Versus Dark Souls 3's 130,000 and Sekiro's 125,000. And numbers were equally impressive in terms of Twitch viewership. This is one of the most watchable games because you get to watch people die and suffer over and over and over again.
I would actually argue that Elden Ring is less watchable than a game like maybe Dark Souls 3. I think of all the games, Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 1 are the most watchable because they have the most open-ended gameplay while simultaneously having directed gameplay. Like Elden Ring, I think that it's definitely a very watchable game, but you have to know how to stream it. And I think that Elden Ring only becomes a great stream game when you don't care about the quality of the stream. Is that weird? Like, Elden Ring becomes, there's like a lot of downtime. Like in streams, it is like downtime in streams is like the worst thing that you can have, and Elden Ring just has a lot of downtime. I feel like this is like an objective fact, right? And so people that like watching Elden Ring and people that like doing that, they will enjoy the slow burn, casual discovery of the game. Hard to disagree on viewership numbers, at least on Asmon. Has been this way. I feel like my viewers have gone down whenever I've gone from Elden Ring from Lost Ark to Elden Ring. Absolutely. I mean, like, I don't care because the game's just so good, but still, I mean, these are what the numbers say. You way overanalyze this? Well, of course I do. I'm a streamer. I'm a professional streamer. What do you think I do? Yeah, what do you think I do? Of course I overanalyze it. It's my job.
And until they overcome that challenge and they're filled with that sense of joy and pride and accomplishment. Oh, man. But, an actual sense of pride and accomplishment. When it comes to Twitch viewership, 910,000 peak concurrent viewers. And to give you an idea for what a big deal that 765,000 peak concurrent players is for Elden Ring, we're talking about roughly 6 times the numbers that Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro pulled. So you can already garner just how many more copies this game likely sold compared to those titles. And you can see this yourself if you go to websites like Steam Charts and other pages that keep track of concurrent players on Steam. So if you go to Steam Charts right now, you'll see that the all-time peak is sitting at 823,524 players. And yes, Elden Ring did surpass its day one all-time peak during the weekend. It tends to be that a game peaks on day one and then the numbers slowly start to fall from there. But Elden Ring saw a big surge during the weekend. Even right now, almost 600,000 people are playing in the past 2 hours.
That's
and
great.
The 24-hour peak
Holy
continues to be
fucking shit. Let me check right now. Holy fucking shit. That's insane. Let me pull this up right now. Elden Ring. Oh, okay. I already have it up. Let me refresh it. Wow. Fucking wow. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely fucking ridiculous. That's only, yeah, and that's only on PC. Check Lost Ark. Lost Ark has more, actually, let me see right now. Let me refresh it again. Yeah, Elden Ring has more people playing it than Lost Ark. That's unreal.
Incredibly strong in the over
800,000
range. Numbers look even more impressive in other Steam concurrent player count websites like Steam Count, where the all-time peak is sitting at 887,815.
So it's even more than
that. And again,
that.
you can see that on day one it started at almost 800,000.
Oh, he recorded this
sort
at
of
night.
in the
That's why it's lower.
mid-700,000s, and then that climbed to 887,000
That is
over
crazy.
the weekend on February 27th in particular. And then here we have SteamDB.info, where the all-time peak is sitting at 891,638. And once again, we started off at like mid-700,000s, and that climbed to almost 900,000 players on February 27th.
Well, especially
Just
it hasn't fallen
insane
off.
numbers
Yeah, exactly.
for
That's
a
insane.
single player. And to give you some perspective
Wow.
as to how big these numbers are, if we go to Steam charts and look at the top games by concurrent players, right now Elden Ring is sitting at number 3, only behind Lost Ark and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And in terms of all-time record, Elden Ring is sitting pretty comfortably at number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And it's above Valheim. And also, like, look at the difference between these numbers, right? This is 800,000. Valheim is 500,000. So this is like 300,000 more people. And on top of that, it's not including console. That is a huge fucking amount.
It is the 7th most played game on Steam in terms of all-time peak concurrent players. That is not an easy feat to accomplish. It's behind Cyberpunk 2077, and the numbers aren't even too far off. And Cyberpunk 2077, you may recall, was one of the most hyped games of all time. This figure is further corroborated by SteamDB, where if you look at the most played games of all time by all-time peak concurrent players, Elden Ring here on this website also sits at number 7, and it's not too far behind major releases like Cyberpunk 2077 and New World. What these numbers indicate is that Elden Ring has probably sold incredibly well and probably shattered Bandai Namco's own expectations and From Software's own expectations.
Yeah, how could it
not? In fact,
not?
let's take a look at some of the latest data released. Here's Games Industry's article noting how Elden Ring is the biggest non-FIFA or Call of Duty launch since Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, this is all data from the UK.
Big.
I'm very curious to eventually see what that data looks like in the US, how well Elden Ring fared in America.
Yeah.
But in the UK, this game has been doing incredibly well, with Elden Ring sales being 2.5 times that of last week's big new release, PlayStation's Horizon Forbidden West. Now, to be fair, Horizon Forbidden West did launch exclusively on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, whereas Elden Ring is a multi-platform.
Yeah, nobody, like, any game that's like a individual console game is never going to outsell something like Elden Ring that's available for all consoles and also PC. I mean, I guess that just makes sense. Horizon's bad? I have no idea. Kind of shows how insane the PUBG hype was. Oh, dude. PUBG was the game. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, I was so, like, I loved PUBG. Like, even I put in, like, almost 1,000 hours into PUBG. Horizon's amazing. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't played it. I'm not really that interested. Don't you have to play, like, a girl character? Yeah, it's like the redhead girl. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
Title that's out on PlayStation consoles, Xbox consoles, and PC. But that doesn't make Elden Ring's latest sales data and just how many players have flooded into this game any less impressive. And the fact that it is the biggest game launch outside of Call of Duty and FIFA franchises since Red Dead Redemption 2 in October of 2018 in the UK, that is no small feat to accomplish. And specifically in the UK, Week 1 sales were bigger than Cyberpunk 2077 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Well, I'm curious to see what overall worldwide sales will look like compared to Cyberpunk 2077. It looks like overall sales for the game may not be too far off from what Cyberpunk 2077 accomplished, especially given that all-time peak concurrent players approach Cyberpunk 2077 are not too far.
Well, I think it also, like, I feel like the main accomplishment for Elden Ring is not really the fact that it's not really just the fact that it did well on release. It's that it continued to do well. That's really what's surprising to me. Like, whenever I see a game and the game comes out and it's like, oh wow, this game is so popular, people like it a lot, like, who gives a shit, right? Like, because it's not about like whether the game comes out and it's popular, it's about how long it stays popular and how long it stays relevant. And with you, when you look at Elden Ring, the hype is so much different because people remain interested in the game. And I think that's what the big difference is. Not to mention Elden Ring's technically a new IP. The others were likely sequels. That's also true. Yeah, Elden Ring is completely new IP. It is and it's not. It's like, I feel like a lot of people are like, Elden Ring? Oh, Dark Souls 4? Oh, but they call it something different. It's a different world? Yeah, but it's like kind of like the same thing. You're like a guy and you've got to do like a thing and you don't know what the fuck's going on and you have to like fight a boss and you roll around. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's Dark Souls 4, okay, yeah. So, but you can go anywhere you want? Oh, it's crazy, yeah, I'll play that. Like, that's really what they think. You know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah. That's really what it is.
Off from that game's figures. Now, the article does note that Nintendo doesn't share digital data, so there's some potential context and perspective
That's smart.
missing there. A Nintendo title might have sold more than Elden Ring, and we may not know about it because Nintendo isn't transparent about that information.
Yeah,
but
I wonder how many copies like
said
Smash
and done, Elden
sells.
Ring is still among the best-selling games this year and one of the best-selling games ever, it would seem. Figures are broken down further in terms of digital versus physical sales. Digital downloads accounted for over 68% of Elden Ring sales. Doesn't surprise me anymore. Digital sales have been on the rise. People have been buying digital more and more with each passing year because
I wish it was easier for me to just go to the store and buy the game copy itself. Like, I like the idea of having the box. You know, like, I mean, I have all of my old boxes. Like, Mizkif has his boxes that he spent $30,000 on or whatever. Like, I have my boxes, and I've had those longer than Mizkif has been alive. Okay? Like, yes, a boomer take? It is. It's a 100% boomer take. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is definitely a boomer take. Like, I have, like, all of my old Super Nintendo boxes, like Super Mario box, you know, fucking Super Mario Brothers 3, all of that shit, man. Yeah, you go to GameStop, and, like, I've got a big stack of them. And, like, I'll try to find, like, a picture and, like, maybe show you guys some pictures of, like, what it looks like. Because I have so many of them. Zoomers molding that they missed out? Yeah, they should be. It was great.
Because of the convenience, but
there was nothing like, you know, renting a game at Blockbuster and you play it and it's just super fucking fun. You love it so much, and then you have to return it back to Blockbuster because it's been 6 days and your mom doesn't want to pay the extra late return bill. And then after you do that, you're driving down to Circuit City, listening to the cassette on the radio, and maybe it's like, you know, something like fucking Bruce Springsteen or Nirvana or something like that, and you arrive at Circuit City, and, you know, maybe you stop off at McDonald's and they're selling Beanie Babies there too, and like the Happy Meals, your mom gets you a Beanie Baby Happy Meal, and then you go into Circuit City and you see the game there and it's on clearance for $40, and you get your mom to buy it for you, and you come home and you play it on the Super Nintendo, man. Like, oh my god, dude, that was the real shit. That was the good shit.
Still a good amount of people who still buy physical. Xbox and PC were the biggest digital platforms, specifically digital sales. 85% of Elden Ring sales on Xbox were downloaded, and on PC was 73%. For PS5 and PS4, the sales were just over 50% digital and a little under 50% physical. And then in terms of overall sales numbers, both digital and physical, that breaks down as follows. 32% of sales were on PlayStation 5, 30% on PC, 29% on Xbox, and 9% on PS4. So relatively even.
Wait, what the fuck? So PC might not even be half of the amount of people that are currently playing the game? Oh my fucking god. That's disgusting.
Distribution of sales across
it's a controller
Xbox,
game?
PlayStation, and PC. In Japan, Elden Ring has also been performing particularly well. According to the Siliconera article, PS4 and PS5 sales of Elden Ring in Japan have topped 278,507 units, and that does not take into account sales on PC. And I'd say Xbox, but Japan doesn't really buy Xbox, so that number's probably relatively small, but
I would
contribute
assume so.
to the overall sales numbers in Japan.
I didn't know
on
that.
some level.
That makes
But,
sense, though.
Yeah, these are pretty big numbers for Japan, and according to Nibel here, this is From Software's strongest first week of all time, if I'm not mistaken.
Bro, there's no way it could even be close. Like, Elden Ring blew every... I wouldn't be surprised if Elden Ring outsold Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro put together on its first week. Like compared to the first week of Sekiro and Dark Souls 3. I feel like, yeah, that's how big it has been. It's been fucking massive.
Believe he is. This is yet to be disputed. All we're missing now is sales figures for the biggest market, the U.S.
There it is.
And I have a pretty good feeling that sales numbers are going to be just as impressive here and on a number of different markets where this game will prove to be quite popular. And it's funny looking back at this article from November of 2021, which talked about how Bandai Namco expected that Elden Ring would sell 4 million units in its first 5 weeks. I think they way lowballed this figure. I wouldn't be surprised if this game managed to sell 4 million units within the first couple of days of launch. In 5 weeks, those figures are likely going to look way higher, likely in the tens of millions, if I'm being honest. This is all further helped by just how much buzz Elden Ring has been generating on social media and forums, be it because of memeable in-game messages like, behold dog, and try finger, but hole, or behold two-handing, or because of crazy moments people are sharing in Elden Ring, be it discoveries that they made, or enemy encounters that went in crazy directions. It's buzz that's no doubt generating more and more curiosity and interest surrounding this game. You know, in this day and age, it's so easy to get bogged down by all of the bad news surrounding the games industry and all of the unfortunate, disastrous launches of highly anticipated AAA games whose full potential aren't realized because publishers are more concerned about rushing games to launch and fixing them later to meet financial quotas instead of respecting the art of gaming, respecting customers and communities who want these games to succeed but are being less tolerant of broken launches and game releases that don't... I think
people are just fucking tired of beta testing for the companies, man. Like, they're just fucking tired of it. And, like, obviously, like, everybody has, like, there's, like, a tolerance that people have. It's like, yeah, the game doesn't need to be fucking perfect, but it should at least not be completely fucking garbage.
Meet baseline quality standards for the $60, $70 plus dollars that people are paying. So it's just so refreshing to see a game like Elden Ring come out and be not only one of the best rated games of all time, and in my opinion one of the best games ever made, at least one of my personal favorite games of all time, but also to see it perform incredibly well and show that, you know, amidst the garbage out there,
I would say so.
What's going on in the gaming landscape, there are still plenty of beacons of light and games that highlight that there's still plenty of good stuff out there, and I'm just glad to see that Elden Ring is doing so well. It deserves all of its success. From Software,
I would say so.
You know, has been climbing this hill for so many years. They finally hit their stride with the Soulsborne genre, subgenre that they sort of accidentally established, and Elden Ring really feels like their peak,
it feels like the next level,
magnum opus.
Yeah,
and I can only hope that their success continues, that their integrity remains intact in the coming years, and that they continue to push the boundaries.
You know, I feel like it will be, because, like, you never really see Miyazaki go out. Like, he does interviews, like, every once in a while, but, like, these guys just basically, they just sit in the office and make the game. Like, that's about it. Like, you don't hear a lot of stuff that they're doing or whatever or anything. Like, they just sit in the office and they just make the game. That's it.
Their imagination, because, man, Elden Ring...
Yeah, no bullshit.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. It really blew me away. It's still blowing me away 100 hours in. Games like these remind me why I fell in love with video games, why I cover video games, why this is my favorite medium, as much as I love all of the other mediums out there. There's just something special about video games, and Elden Ring for me was a very special experience.
That, but it's true.
So, man, I've got to say, I don't know how they're going to top themselves with Elden Ring, but I mean, if anyone can do it, it's FromSoft. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is everything you need to know about Elden Ring's sales performance and how it's
I think that they should just do another. Another game that's a little bit different. It's kind of like how do you top Dark Souls 3? And like Sekiro is how you top Dark Souls 3. You don't try to. You don't try to top Dark Souls 3. And like that's what it was. Yeah, you didn't do that. That's what it comes down to. And so I think it did really, really well, which is Armored Core, which is mecha kind of. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I would love to see a From Software MMO, okay? Like, I don't know how bad the netcoding is with Elden Ring. I have no idea. But if it's good, then I would really, really enjoy playing it. Yeah, I'll say that for sure. There's a video that I just got done watching. I've never watched Young before, and video is actually pretty good. Bloodborne, best ever Souls-like. Well, a lot of people have their own opinions, right, of which game is best. But I do like a lot of them, man. I'll say that. I've played every single one. I think the only one I don't like is is what's it called? Dark Souls 2. All the other ones I fucking love.